we're back, and we're going to be doing a standing sequence for chair yoga today. It's actually the same day here, that's why I'm wearing the same clothes. So you guys can practice this for however long we're away from each other, and then we'll look forward to seeing each other again. But to get started, again, you want to make sure that you either have a very sturdy chair with no wheels underneath it, or you can even do this at a countertop. So if you're using the counter, then the counter, it'd be helpful to have the counter off to the side. So you'd be grabbing it with one hand, or if you're taking the counter in front of you, you'll be grabbing it with both hands, depending on how much challenge you want. So I'd suggest starting with both hands on the countertop, and I also suggest before you get started making sure that you have somebody in the room with you to practice with. So if you have a caregiver that helps you with your balance, then you definitely want to make sure that they're with you. And if they're able to partake in the practice with you, it's just as good for them as it is for you. And if not, and they just want to watch, at least make sure that somebody's in the room present with you at all times during this portion, because this is the standing part of the practice, and we're going to be practicing balance. And so we always want to be careful with balance, because you can lose your balance. Even I do. So just make sure that you have someone with you. And if you need to pause the video and make sure that that person's with you before we get started, go ahead and do that now. Okay. All right, so let's get started. We're going to take our left hand and grab the counter or the back of the chair, whatever you have available to you, and we're going to walk out to the side of the chair. So we're going to be going to the right side of your chair. Okay, and then you're going to take the outside hand to your hip to help with balance. So this really helps to make you feel stable. And when you look down, you want to make sure that both ankles and knees are right in line with the hips. So your feet are hip width apart. This is going to make you feel a little bit more balanced. If your feet are too close together, then you're going to feel like you can sway a little bit more. Whereas if you have your feet about hip width or a little bit wider even, you'll feel like you have a little more stability if you sway. And then from here, we're going to be balancing on this inside leg that's closest to either your chair or your counter. So again, if you're at the counter doing this, you're going to have the counter off to the side and be grabbing the counter like this. But if you have a chair, you're going to have it to your side. All right, so from here, we're just going to do a little leg work. If my leg goes off the video camera, hopefully you guys still get the idea. But on the inhale, we're going to take the outside leg, which is that right leg, and we're just going to lift it up to the side. You're going to feel this working the outside of the hip and the glute area. And on the out breath, you can bring it back down. You can even place it onto the ground and just go ahead and put your weight back on it. And on the in breath, we're going to take it back up. Ooh, feel those biscuits working. And on the out breath, take it back down. It's a technical term. On the in breath, lift. So you're going to feel that. Yep. Out breath, release. All right, so from here, we're going to give that a little bit of a break. We're going to take the ankle and turn it in towards the opposite ankle and bending at the knee like you have a kickstand. And you're going to slide that foot so that the ankle is pressed right up against the inside of your left leg, and the toes are kickstanding on the ground. The knee is bent and is facing away, and the hand is still on the hip. So this is called tree pose. And if this feels stable for you, then you might want to take the arm into some movements here. So we're just going to do one hand. We're going to make sure we keep the other hand for balance. We're just going to do this with the outside arm. So with your right hand on the inhale, you can take the hand through the midline up towards the ceiling. And again, however much you can go above the shoulder, that's available for you. And on the out breath, you're going to come out to the side, make a big circle, and come all the way back to the hip. On the inhale, take the knee forward. On the exhale, kick the foot out and up, and then release it back down. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So now we're just going to switch sides. We're going to walk behind the chair or around the counter and come to the other side, grabbing it with the opposite hand. Now our left hand is coming to the outside hip. The feet are hip width apart to start. And then on the inhale, we're just going to take that outside leg up to the side. Ooh, feel that burn. On the out breath, release it down. On the inhale, we'll come back up. And then out breath, back down. And you can do as many of these as you want, but I would recommend no more than 5 in a row because this is a pretty good exercise. I'm just going to start with 3 today. And then we're going to go ahead and, again, kickstand the foot so you're bending at the toe mound. And then you're taking the knee out to the side, and you're taking the heel in so the heels are coming together. And you really want the bottom of that foot pressing up against the leg, and that's going to create some stability by the equal pressure of them up against each other. Outside hands to the hip, and then from here, if you feel stable, if not, you're just going to stay here. But if you feel stable, you're going to find a gazing point, something to help you balance. And then we're going to take the outside hand up on the in-breath, and then down on the out-breath. So if you wanted to do more than one of these, we only did one on the other side, you would just inhale, come back up, and exhale back down and around. And if you really want to challenge, then you can reverse directions, and on the inhale you can come out and up, and on the inhale you can come down and in. You want to take that hand back to the outside hip for stability. On the inhale, take the knee in, and on the exhale you can kick it out, kick that anger out if you have any, and then release it back down. And then from here, if you do have a seat, the nice thing is you can come around and sit down on your seat. If you're at the counter, you want to make sure that you're careful as you step away from the counter. Again, you want to make sure if you need help, you have that. But if you are at a chair and you want to sit down and end your practice, then the nice thing is you can just come around, sit in your chair, and have a nice closing here. So we did our closing in the last practice. I'm just going to go ahead and take our hands to our heart and bow towards one another, a sign of respect. Namaste. Namaste. Thanks so much, and we miss you. We can't wait to see you again, and take care.